And this one is a torta al cioccolato, and it's a cake, a hazelnut cake. And it starts with butter. And here I've got 2 sticks of butter that are at room temperature. You want this to be very, very soft. You want to cream the butter in an electric mixer. And meanwhile, have ready some sugar. Basically, we're going to put the wet ingredients together first. So here's a cup of sugar, and I want to gradually add the sugar. And then you want to have 5 egg yolks ready. And those you want to put in one at a time. Make sure they're well blended. So there's 1, 2, 3, vanilla as well. So, about a tablespoon. Also, if you didn't have vanilla, what would be nice in that is a hazelnut flavoring. Okay, that looks good. Now, while that's sitting around, we have to mix up our dry ingredients. And here I've got 1½ cups of unbleached flour. So I'm going to put that in a sifter, and to it add ½ cup of cocoa. That goes in. And then a teaspoon of baking powder. And then you just want to sift this. Make sure that everything is well mixed. A little bit at a time. Turn that down just a little. These are hazelnuts that you've taken out of the shell, put on a baked sheet, and roasted or toasted for about 10 minutes at 350, and then just coarsely chopped. That'll be going in later. So now let me see what we've got here. All right, I think we're just about ready, and you see how thick this mixture is. So now I want to get this off my blade here, and if you weren't here with me right now, I'd probably be licking this with my fingers. Okay, now I take this off and transfer this to a bowl that's wide enough to fold the egg whites into, and you see how thick that is. Now I add those hazelnuts. Doesn't this look good already? And you see how thick this batter is. So you want to mix that well. And now you have to do this gradually. So I'm going to add a little bit at a time. And you notice that my egg whites are in a copper bowl. I think I've told you this before. I like to beat my whites in a copper bowl because of the action between the egg whites and the copper ions. Here's my pan, you see? All dusted with cocoa. And now I want to take this mixture, look at that, it's absolutely wonderful, and put that right into the pan. So in it goes, and you want to let it stay there now for about 30-35 minutes. Now, and because this is a hazelnut chocolate cake, I thought we'd carry out the theme with that coffee. So you want to put some confectioner's sugar in a bowl. You want this to be kind of a loose glaze now. And here's a little cocoa. I'm just going to add a little cocoa to that. That looks like it's enough. And just stir that around. And then, and isn't this clever? I hope Maurow's watching. You add a little bit of coffee. And this happens to be espresso, leftover espresso that I made yesterday. So you never throw out espresso coffee. You can always use it for something. And in this case, we're making a glaze with it. So put it in, put enough coffee in to just give you a frosting or glaze. How much? I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it as I go along. And I might add a little cream now because I like the finish that gives this glaze. Well, there you have it. Dolce for espresso.